Hi guys, thanks for joining me on Making with Marilyn. On today's video, I'm going to show you how I made these earrings, which are made of white leather, and then they have Swarovski crystals. They're made out of white leather, Swarovski crystals, and glitter. Now, they may be a little over the top, and my daughter tells me that the hat really takes the look over the top, but my hair was pretty messy and I wanted to show off the final product. So, if you're interested, join me. If you find anything that you like about the video or that helps you, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, leave them in the comment section. And if you'd like to watch what I'll be working on in the future, hit the subscribe button. Now, let's get started. And this morning I was sitting around thinking about how I could add something else, just a new cool element to some of my earrings. This left set, these are my actual earrings. These are going to be cut out of leather. And then the yellow pair in the middle, this is a template that I put together where I could put little crystals in these areas that I would weed out. So basically I would cut this yellow thing out of vinyl. I'd lay it on top of the green. I would weed out these little circles, and then I would glue in some crystals. I would peel the vinyl off, and I'd be left with crystals going across right here. Then I started thinking, well, why not do some with glitter and crystals? And so I came up with this little template that I will cut out of vinyl, and then I'll place it on my earring. A little bit better than that. Okay, so then I'd place it on my leather, and I left the top and this area, I left the top just so I could get it placed on my earring correctly. The top really doesn't do anything for me other than it kind of acts like a registration mark might. And then this template here is where I'll set my crystals down. I thought it'd be easier to remove the template if I just have it under half or around half of the crystals. Instead of having to pull it up over the crystals, I can just pull it this way. The other thing is that I wanted to do is I wanted to have a straight line going across here where I could add glitter to the bottom if I wanted to. So I'm not sure I'll do that, but that's what I've accomplished with this design, which did take me quite a while to figure out. These yellow templates, those are just reserved for a future date. I'm not even going to cut those out. I will cut these out of white leather, and then I'll cut these out of just a different color of vinyl so that I can place them down and use them as my template. So let's keep working and let's see if these turn out as a fail or a success. Let's hope for success. I think we're good. So, like I said, I'm not even going to cut this out. This is my template I'm going to use today. So I'm going to go ahead and click Continue. And then I'm going to just use a basic vinyl. I have my fine point blade. I'll show you that here in just a minute. And let's keep working. Now I found this little bitty scrap of vinyl, so we're going to use it. And this mat is so not sticky, so I'm going to add just a little bit of tape to it. I think that should be good. Now this is just the little template that I'm going to use to place my crystals on my earrings and to use as a stencil for painting on my Mod Podge for my glitter. So let's go ahead and send that to the maker. Make sure my blade is good and clean. My premium fine point blade. And now we'll cut. Okay, let's go ahead and remove this. Usually I turn my mat over, but this is such a small piece it's not going to matter. Okay, so all I want to leave is the little stencil. Maybe. Okay, let me just set that down. If you just pull it straight back, you have pretty good luck at just leaving down the vinyl that needs to stay down. Excellent. So there's my stencil. Now I just need to have a really small piece of contact paper. This is clear or transparent. It's not quite clear, but it's pretty close. Contact paper that you just get at Walmart or many other places. Okay, if you hear things going on, my husband's working in the garage, which is right below me. And there's really no insulation between the garage and this room. Okay, so I'm going to lay it down on the side and then just pull it over. Go ahead and scrape that so it'll stick to my transfer tape. Okay, so there's my two templates. Go ahead and cut those apart, set them aside. Now with leather, you want to place it pretty side down. And if your design is anything that has letters or numbers or design that you want to face a particular direction, then you need to mirror your image. In this case, I don't have anything like that. And this mat is really old. It's not very sticky, so I have my super hold Scotch tape that I'm going to use to hold it down. This may be overkill, but I have had plenty of leather shift on me. And believe you me, this mat is not sticky. Okay, so I think that's good. I need to go ahead and change what I'm cutting. I had it set on vinyl. I need to move it to genuine leather. Okay, the other thing that I need to do is I need to change out my blade to my deep point blade. So I'll go ahead and remove my fine point blade, check out my deep point blade, make sure it's clean. Super easy to change out. Okay, let's get this loaded. And we'll cut. Okay, so let me get this closed up and out of the way. Now the actual cut on that, I just counted in my head, seemed like it took about 25 seconds. There is the long pauses that adds about 20 seconds to that. But we'll go ahead and remove the leather and see what we get. And it looks great. Looks like it cut really well. So I'm just going to pull up on my leather. If I pull down on my mat, then my leather lifts up pretty easily, especially on this mat. And then you can just pull them off without really using your nails much. When you use your nails, you can scratch them. Now, the next thing that I want to do is I want to clean up the frays on these earrings. And I got this pair of scissors. They are, what were they called? They're called Razor Edge, and they're called Amplify. They'll go through thicker materials very easily, and they are super sharp. But you can see in the camera that there are quite a few of these little frays hanging off. And with it being white leather, I just want to cut those off. If it was dark leather, I'd burn them off. And you want to cut from the back side with your scissors very angled, so you're not going through the front. You're just staying on the side. So I'm going to clean these up really nicely, and I will fast forward through this because it's pretty boring. It doesn't take very long. The whole thing only takes about, I don't know, 30 seconds, 40 seconds per earring, depending on how picky you are and depending on how bad the frays are. Okay, so since what I'm going to be doing to these earrings today is pretty labor intensive, the first thing I want to do is cut my holes, because if I mess the holes up, I've messed the entire earring up. And it's not a big deal just to have to recut this leather, but to have to recut it and add everything to it might make me cry if I messed up. So you place, I have the smallest punch on this little leather punch tool I got at Harbor Freight. You place it on your leather where you think you want it. Don't put too much pressure on it until you get it really close to your face and make sure it's where you want it. So let me check it out here. Okay, I like that. So go ahead and press, and it makes a beautiful hole. So my second one, again, I'm just going to put it where I think I want it. You can see that. And then I'm going to move it out of the camera so I can look at it really closely. Okay, so I press, and I have another beautiful hole. Okay, so now we can move on. So I'm going to go ahead and lay my stencils down on my earrings. Here's my stencil, and really the only thing this black piece up here is doing is it's making sure that I get everything lined up where I want it, where it needs to be. So I'm going to place that at the top as best as I can, and then gently put the rest of it down. Make sure that it looks good. I feel like it needs to turn just slightly. That didn't do it. See this big gap over here? We don't want that. So obviously I was wrong. It was probably in the right place to begin with. Okay, now the sides of the black meet up with the sides of my earring. So I can go ahead and remove that. And then this top piece, I don't care if it comes off because I don't need it. So I didn't rub it down on my leather. Excellent. Now I have these little crystals that I bought at Joann's, and I would have either bought them on sale or used a coupon. I don't know how well the color is coming through. They are kind of an iridescent, just a real pretty blue with almost a khaki or brownish bronze color coming through as well. You get that really close. They're beautiful. And I tend to collect things and then it takes me forever to use them. So we're going to open these up and use those. Now these have a flat back, and it shows me a picture right here. It shows the profile. You can see the back is flat, and then you can see the front and how the faucets or facets or whatever that's called look in that. There's 30 in here. So at Walmart today, I got these little tubes of E6000. It's a permanent bond. It dries clear, and it says it's good for jewelry, fabric, wood, ceramics, and more. You could buy one large tube, or you could get these little mini tubes. I've never used it before, so I got the mini tube. But you open it, and then there's a little pokey thing on the inside of that you use to poke this open. Okay, so it's kind of oozing out. I'm going to go ahead and put a blob of that down. I have no idea how long I have to work with this stuff because I've never used it. So I'm just going to do it the way I think maybe it should be done. Okay, that's pretty thick stuff. I'm going to add a little bit to the back of my crystal. Uh-oh, that's not good. Okay, let me try this. The back of a paintbrush. Get a little bit on there, and then dab it right there. And drop my little crystal on, and then press it down. Okay, looks like it worked. Okay, watching me do that one had to be pretty painful. So I'm going to go ahead and move on, and then I'll do the second one before I reveal the final earrings. So now what I want to do is I want to brush on some Mod Podge on this bottom part and then put some really pretty glitter over it. Okay, so I want to brush away from, and I don't want to push down too hard on my black vinyl. So I want to barely lay it down against my black vinyl and then pull away from my black vinyl. Now the glitter that I'm using is by Recollections, and it's the color Mint. So I'm just going to shake this on very generously. And then I don't want to pick up my earring yet. So I'm going to hold it down, and from the side, I'm just going to press some of that up against the side of the earring. Again, I can go back later and touch that up if I need to. And then I want to go ahead and really push down on the glitter. And then I'm just going to let that sit for about 5 minutes because I want it to be enough that the glitter can stick to the Mod Podge, but I don't want to wait too long, or I think that when I pull my vinyl up, it's going to pull the Mod Podge and some of the glitter with it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and keep going. So first thing I want to do is get some of that glitter off. Ooh, that's pretty. It's really pretty. So knock off some of that glitter. Now I have to figure out how to get that vinyl off. So I think I'll try to get under it on one edge with my weeding tool, being careful not to scratch the leather. Very tricky. There we go. Okay. Wish me luck. There. Okay. Sweet. This is a clean, very, very soft bristled paintbrush. So I'm just gonna try to get that excess glitter off of the leather. It'll come off easily because there was no glue under it. Okay. Those are pretty cute. I'm thinking about these for Easter. That looks very Easterish, doesn't it? Now the last thing that I want to do in this video is to add my hooks. And I thought rose gold might be kind of cute, but that's a little bit too much. So I'm going to go with silver. I think silver is a good color to go with this bluish mint. Okay, so I need to find out where the end of my metal is. And it's on this side over on the right. So I need to twist that to the side. You don't want to pull it apart. That decreases the integrity of your circle. It just doesn't look as good. I've heard it's not as strong after that. So let's see, I want it to go this way. Just gonna put my leather over that metal. And then I will just twist this. Okay, then I'll just twist this back. There we go. It might have been hard to see. I hope you saw it, but now I can tell it needs twisted more. It's not straight yet. The tricky part is not to scratch that leather while you're doing this. Okay, there we go. That looks great. So there's my first earring. I'm going to go ahead and do the second one, and then I'll show both earrings to you at the end.